Griff Parks here, and this is going to be one of the most fun lives you've ever watched. If you are a patriot, if you are a hero, if you are a brave, caring American who would love to see some little guy stand up to the giant military industrial complex that has been taking all your money and using it to bomb brown kids in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Pakistan, Lebanon, Falkland Islands. Yeah, our United States military has actually invaded more countries than any other country ever. Iraq was an illegal invasion. They want us out. They made it quite clear. Mr. Trump did not end that, in spite of the fact the Iraqis really, really wanted us out and even sent a written letter. He also didn't pull us out of Afghanistan, which is something he should have done, considering that's where all the opium comes from. Yeah, all the opium is in, well, not all of it, but the vast majority of the poppy fields, the poppy bushes, come from Afghanistan. And if you know your history, H.W. Bush, man who easily as evil as Hitler and actually killed more people and just less obvious about it, his name was Poppy Bush. So while I absolutely love dearly the troops, I cannot begin to express my disappointment in their leadership, which has been found corrupt quite some time. So this is going to be very fun. And the reason why I'm doing this is because we need to start pushing back. We need to unify, we need to rally, and we need to start saying no to all this crime that's being done with our tax dollars. If you're not a big fan of what's happening in Israel or in the sewer tunnels under New York, perhaps ask yourself why Donald Trump gave $60 billion of your tax money to the Israeli army. And what is the Israeli army doing with it? Hurts, doesn't it? Yeah, it hurts a lot. So please also remember that Trump is the godfather of all three vaccines. And if you go to markallenking.com, you will see every video explaining what you need to know about the orange rhino. And patriots, it hurts, right? Well, just know this. I've been a digital soldier since about 2008. Obama woke me up to the big long con situation. I started researching everything and I started talking to all my rich white Burning Man friends. Hey, we're the ones who have the free time and the resources to actually deal with this matter. The poor people don't have time to research. They don't have the calories to push back. So we got to do it. No one wanted to hear it. So also, if, hearing the thing about Trump is really challenging for the Anons, who are literally the people who just saved the world. You can say whatever you want about Anons and real Christians. They just saved our asses. No one stepped up bigger and helped us win the war of consciousness in 2020. Now we're in cleanup. So if you are an Anon, I can just go ahead and earn your respect with this. The reason why I've spent the last 4 days getting buzzed and looped over at like 500 feet off the deck by planes is because I grew up in the Illuminati. I am one of those royal reptilians that you hear about. I have almost no primate DNA, and I was born into the bloodline of high-ranking. Basically, my father's going to jail for trafficking children through CPS. And if you're an Anon, you know that no one talks about CPS being the world's biggest child trafficking ring without reason and without risk. So if you're wondering who I am, I'm working overtime to get my child trafficking father and the rest of them put in jail forever and free and heal all the children. First and foremost, I'm a healer. So I'll do a little sidelong advertising here and let you know to go kungflow.com. That's a program that I designed with the help of angels to help you realize that you can program your mind and shut down things like addiction and PTSD simply through speaking out loud. Now's not the time for that. There's a whole website for it. But I did want, I'm going to, there's a lot of Anons who have been so brave and so discerning. And now we got to take it to the next level. And we have to apply that same scrutiny to the people that we have been supporting. And I was one of Trump's biggest supporters. This muckraking, this call out, I did that on big name Democrat pages back about 2018. And there was very few of us back then. And there was pretty much damn near none of us in 2008. If you've ever heard the term, The Matrix is a documentary, I wrote that in 2010. If you liked the line, forcing me to be penetrated with a long needle and then injected with some substance I don't want or trust. That's literally the definition of rape. That was me too. Quite a bit of the talking points out there came from me, and that's because I've been compiling and preparing them with a psychological background for like 15 years. So what I'm going to do now, am I still online? What I'm going to do now is call the Homestead Air Force Base, because if you go back on my Facebook page, Ryan Riff Parks, 1F and Riff, you'll see that I've had low-flying military aircraft circling, doing absolute loops over my property in the middle of the nowhere. And they're mostly coming from Valdosta, which is, 80 miles north. But this last Black Hawk helicopter that just went over, it came from Homestead, which is 400 miles away. And if you track the screenshot, you'll see that it, made a very direct path. And I have it on video flying over low. And for me personally, I'm not taking this shit anymore. I'm really not. I'm pushing back, and I hope you do too. And before I jump into this, I have a whole program ready to go on how we ally and unify on minds.com. If you're on Facebook, this is probably going to get mysteriously shut down. I'm inside on Wi-Fi, so it should not go off for technological reasons. But if it does, you know why. If my profile is mysteriously gone, this is why. You will always find me at minds.com at Ryan Riff Parks, and I've loaded up the best clips you could possibly see about the greatest since 2013. Basically, quite a few people on this planet were born here as celestial soldiers to fuck shit up. And you can go read the digitalredpill.com, where I explain to you why everyone's seeing 11/11 way back then. For the record, 2013, I tried, and it was by my Rothschild girlfriend. I tried to relaunch it in 2019 as Light Club. That was destroyed by my Rockefeller roommate. And my whole life has been filled with fake friends who wreck my business, force me into poverty. I went off grid into isolation for safety about 2013. So that's how long I've been in this game. I've been to a Trump rally. I supported him as much as anyone else online, and I took major damage for it, but I bent, but I did not break. So what I'm going to do is call Homestead Air Force Reserve Base and simply ask them why they're wasting your tax dollars harassing me. I'm not going to be remotely mean to the soldier who answers the phone because it's not their fault, but I am going to be quite educational. And as you will see, much like Tom Petty, I won't back down. I'm too old for this shit. I don't have to take it, so I'm not. So this is going to be a wild ride, and I'm on my laptop, so I can't see your comments if you're commenting. But this is going to be a fun one, folks, and I highly advise you and urge you to start doing the same. Like if trail companies, it's Allegiant Airlines West, you can do the same thing I'm doing and be completely polite, completely legal, but also start leveraging them. And if we get hundreds of thousands of brave Americans, millions of patriots doing this, that's how we win. Trump is never going to do it. He let Houseplant win the election? No, there's a bunch of dirty stuff on him. He was on Epstein's flights at least 2 to 6 times. Okay. So I fell for it. It's okay if you fell for it. Don't be worried about being tricked by a propaganda machine that's had 6,000 years. Okay. If you're an Anon, you gotta step up. You have to apply the same level of scrutiny to Trump as you did everyone else. And if you do your due diligence without a denial mechanism, you will not like what you see. So, folks, here we go. Where's my speakerphone all of a sudden? Why don't I have a speakerphone? There it is. No. Oh, the number has been disconnected. Imagine that. Hold on, let's try again. Homestead Air Force Base. I get disconnected disconnected constantly. Yeah, every time my phone gets mysteriously connected, my internet goes out. I didn't get any stimulus checks, I don't think, because they would constantly disconnect me. They've given me massive tax problems that every time I prove that they're in error, the phone gets disconnected. Homestead Air Force Base. Huh. Why is my mic, nothing's working right now. Come on. So folks, this is what, if you're wondering why everything I do takes so long, it's because this stuff happens. All my tech glitches, you know, friends, they've literally sent 3 hurricanes at me. That sounds far-fetched. Yeah, you know what's more far-fetched? A guy moving to Florida and being in the eye of all 3 hurricanes and a tornado. Yep. It followed me. Hurricane, what was it? Ian followed me all around Central Florida. I ended up at an Airbnb in Sebring because a smart friend told me that was the place to be. I was 2 miles from the eye of the hurricane. I ended up buying a house up here in North Florida. 3 days after I bought it, a hurricane hit, knocked down a tree on my gate, locking me in. I didn't have any tools. I had to saw my way out with a handsaw that didn't have a handle. Couldn't get insurance. Worked through a bunch of stuff, got ready to launch, and then they launched Hurricane Idalia and a tornado, which destroyed the whole neighborhood and dropped a tree on my house and left me without power for 10 days. I was totally locked in. But I was prepared. And consider that Hurricane Nicole and Hurricane Idalia both landed at Big Bend, which is 30 miles that way. Homestead Air Force Base phone number.
Homestead Air Reserve Base can be contacted at 30.
That number didn't work. Why does the Air Force not have an updated phone number? Why is my phone not working? Oh, this site can't be reached. Somebody's scared. Come on, you can do it. So in the meantime, folks, while I'm waiting for my tech to catch up here, we had major solar flares last night. So if you woke up early and hot and sweaty, that is why. By the way, if you're currently grounding or taking Epsom salt baths, or if you know any of the solar flare protocols, you're welcome. Yeah, I knew about those back in 2009, wrote a website called thesmokingsun.com. If you don't know about solar flares, they're kicking the shit out of you right now if you're not hydrating and grounding properly, and there's a bunch of other tools. Yeah, so my phone, which works perfectly at all other times, it just doesn't work now. Why? Because every single one of the spook 3-letter agencies is currently watching me, terrified that I will start tearing into Colonel David Castaneda. Funny, Colonel David Castaneda, and then my judge in my court case where my fake friend partner is suing me, he's also a David. That's an angel name, by the way. That's a long story. Yeah, so the site can't be reached. Homestead Air Force Reserve Directory. Okay, oh, that's a PDF. Let's see. Homestead Air Force Base phone number. Nope, that one doesn't work. Contact us. Huh. My phone's on Wi-Fi. For some reason, it just doesn't work. Oh, funny note, folks. I was over on gematrix.org last night, which is a gematria calculator which has correlating results. And there's a giant battle between myself, my twin flame, and the rest of the Celestials and the deep state spooks who run that site. And I told them yesterday that if they kept harassing me, that I would call the bases today. And they're doing it, so I'm calling them. And the Gematria correlation code came out to 156, which is funny because in Gematria, my name equals 156. And then yesterday, both of the X class and the M class, we had an M156 flare and a 2.56 flare. Yep, site can't be reached. So, how's everybody doing out there? Hold on, let me try to get this phone number. I should have had that. Base operator. There we go. That's who we need. 45415. Yeah, so for those of you who are also targeted individuals, you know my struggle where it's just like you're trying to do anything and then they're constantly jamming up your tech, or something goes wrong with your car, or in my case, they throw a rock through your window. Yeah, I was exposing Hillary Clinton in 2016 if I need to earn street cred with you. Not a lot of people talking about Hillary Clinton in 2016. Okay. She's not a nice lady. She's really not. Great style choices, though. No one rocks a pantsuit like Hillary.
You're calling Homestead Air Reserve Base in Homestead, Florida. Please stay on the line for information on how to dial other locations or groups on this base. If you know your party's extension, you can dial it at any time or press pound for a directory. For the command section, press 1. For mission support, press 2. For operations group, press 3. For the maintenance group, press 4. For medical group, press 5.
Can you guys even hear that?
Press 6. For
Yeah.
building, press 7. For additional options, press 8. For the command section, press 1. For mission support, press 2. For operations group, press 3.
Operations
For
group.
maintenance group, press 4. For medical group, press 5.
Buttons aren't
For
working.
EX, press 6. For billet, press 7.
And I no longer have a speakerphone feature on my phone.
Press 1. For mission support, press 2. For operations group, press 3. For the maintenance group, press 4. For medical group,
My phone's literally not working.
EX, press 6. For billeting, press 7. EX, press 8. For the command section, press 1. For mission support, press 2. For operations group, press 3. For the maintenance group, press 4. For medical group, press 5. For the BX, press 6. For billeting, press 7.
My phone buttons don't push when I'm trying to push operations command. It just literally doesn't work. And I don't know if you can hear this. Where's the microphone? When I push the speaker button, it just goes to Google Voice Assistant, which I don't use. So, okay, folks, as always, technical difficulties here. I just pressed the phone and it went back to the other screen. It just totally shut off.
Press 6. For billeting, press 7. For additional options,
They're scared. See that, folks? The military won't take a call from one lone conspiracy theory wingnut.
press 4.
Why? Because they're afraid.
Press 5. For BX, press 6. For billeting, press 7. For additional options, press 8.
See what happens here?
Command section, press 1. For mission support, press 2.
Yeah, I can't even call and chew them out. They're afraid of me, and they're afraid of what I'm going to say to their soldiers and remind them of their oath to protect America from all enemies, foreign and domestic. Soldiers, if you are watching this, honor your oath. Be the hero that you're trying to be, but they've got you shooting kids in Iraq. That's why everybody's committing PTSD, is because they're forced to shoot children or some man who's just defending his home. By the way, veterans, I have worked with a ton of you as a PTSD trauma counselor. Kung Flo will give you a way to use a weapon. This lightsaber right here, this is carved all over ancient Egypt by people called the Jedi, by the way. So if you're a veteran suffering from PTSD, go over to Kung Flo. It's all free, and you can use a bow staff to heal your PTSD like a boss. And frankly, guys, gals, we love you. Thank you for your service, but we need you home. Most of you are not even in America, and I can't name a time when I've seen an American soldier protect somebody like they want to, okay? So anyway, folks, there's nothing I can do here. Sorry for the false climax, but if you talk to any of my former lovers, they'll tell you that's usual with me. My phone doesn't work anymore. So, folks, all right. I'm going to come at this from another way later, but at very minimum, folks, if you're wondering who I am and what I do for America and the world, I'm willing to call up and chew out the colonel who is currently wasting your money. Like that Black Hawk flight where they just came to buzz me. that costs probably 10, 15 grand minimum to fly up here. And instead of feeding all the starving children that are all around us, they're harassing me. So if you're one of the Q team waiting for the military because the military is the only way, say this out loud. The military industrial complex is the only way. Doesn't have the same ring to it, does it? And I don't really know what's going on with Q. I don't know, but I do know that whoever Q is, they seem to have abandoned us. And all the brave people, the ones who are willing to step up into that alpha warrior role, are all sitting on their hands because, just wait 2 more weeks, 2 more weeks, 2 more weeks to flatten the curve, 2 more weeks for Q to bring the military in. All right, folks. I'm sorry that this wasn't as fun as I thought it would be, but I'm going to work out the tech issues and get a phone number that I can use, and then I'll do it again later. In the meantime, for those of you who are just here for the cat, Elixir's paw seems to be better. He got rid of that sliver, and there's an orange cat here now, too, which is definitely a reference to Lady Deadpool. Oh yeah, go watch the Deadpool trailer. I got a whole Deadpool's Q people. Deadpool is written into the Great Awakening, and that's your role model. And for some reason, he lives in apartment 17. Oh, there's some great stuff in that trailer, and I'm looking forward to the movie. So big ass solar flares today. Last night, folks. Today is calm so far. Very little on the solar front. And also, folks, just go read everything on my wall. You're going to get some of the best information possible there. We're just breaking down everything. And if you're new here, this is what I do. Usually it's very, very, very lighthearted and funny. And there's a lot of really good dick jokes coming from women. And we have a good time and we heal each other. And I've collected the best of the best as far as healers, researchers, anons, teachers, metaphysicians, channels, and all that. So you're going to get great information here. If you have a question about anything, ask it. Someone will have an answer. Okay. Like, it's just been my experience that because I have 5,000 of the best people I could find over the last 15 years, if you got a problem, we'll solve it. Check out the post while DJ revolves it. That wasn't very nice, baby. Now I can't even I'm not going to end the clip on a Vanilla Ice quote. So was there anything else while I'm sitting here live? Was there anything else that we needed to cover? Nope. Basically, just keep your vibe high. Start getting in shape because we're going to have Jedi Spring. This symbol right here, this is the exact design of the light sword I have for you. And I did not know this shape was already carved all over ancient Egypt by an order of mystical knights called the Jedi. According to Billy Carson, George Lucas stole the whole Star Wars story from the Anunnaki history, which is our original history. And what's really interesting to me is that this is literally the perfect shape with everything that it does as far as the specialized sword spinning, even down to this crucial center mark. But the thing that might interest you is that this very much looks like a lightsaber, right? Well, make this copper, make this zinc, copper, zinc, and then add some electrolytes like a lemon juice. And this is a functioning flashlight that runs on lemon juice. And if you're hip to the 1111 game, oh, look, it also spells out 1111. And if you don't know that 1111 is a wake-up code for angels, it is. If you track the etymology of the word 11 back to its source in the Norse territory, the word 11 translates straight to angel, because that's what you are. And if you want to see, folks, I'm going to go edit together the clip that I had yesterday when I went into town. I've got these new business cards. So for the last, 10, 15 years, I have this weird ability to recognize angels. And I know that they're seeing 1111. So I built a business card that has Vistaprint on it. I built a business card that has all the code names and numbers already written on it. And this is the first version I've made since like 2013, 2015. And I was so excited because it's a better version with more of the numbers that my friends and I have uncovered for the Great Awakening activation codes. And I met this really awesome woman, Gloria Ann, and like her birthday, her name, her this and her that were all on the card. And that was incredible. That film is up. But then I went to the grocery store and the same thing happened again. twice in a very, very big way. Yeah. It's interesting. One of the guys I interviewed to a court case with the same judge I am, he had some intro that I'm quite sure I will edit out. Yeah, folks, magic is happening, folks. You just, pay attention. There's dragons in the auroras. There's the auroras are making dragon and angel shapes. That is not by accident. They're all size, shape, and scope and duration that we've been receiving. So I'll be back later with some better information. And I'm sorry I couldn't give you the pro wrestling show you wanted, but they're blocking my tech. And if you're one of the people who is like stops and starts where you tell us it's angel time launching the Great Awakening, I do my job, build a plan, and then they come in and wreck it somehow. So I build another plan and they wreck it somehow. So I build another plan. And folks, the thing is, I'm never going to quit. Never going to let you down. Never going to run around or desert you. Never going to say goodbye. Might be a little high. And I will definitely rickroll you. But we're winning. There's a reason why I keep posting people being hit by lightning or all of that, because that's the Celestials taking out your enemies with the artillery from the artillery. So yeah, folks, just keep your vibe high. Know everything's great. This is going to be the best spring we've ever had. It's going to be so much fun. So much fun. So much fun. You've never seen fun like this. I got to work on my Trump impression if I'm going to probably troll him. And if you are wondering who to markallenking.com, you're going to get the best information ever. And if you're also starting to dive into gematria, Mark Allen King is the master.
Yes, signal lost.
My signal's lost. Imagine that. So just know that, I'll show you what you need to know about Trump. I'm actually going to use the information Scott in his last video posted to conclusively end the whole Trump debate. I'm just not going to do it the morning after a giant X256 and an M156 solar flare, because now is not the time for information. You have to understand that these X-class flares, these coronal mass ejections, which are billion tons cloud plasma slamming into us. I don't play with knives on those days. Like, I've got chainsaw work cutting down all the trees that are in my yard, my roof, but I'm not going to go play with the chainsaw on a day where my cognitive faculties are impaired by all the amplified energy. And I highly advise you to learn how to keep up with the solar flares. Red Myers and Margie Marriott, Paris Prometheus, I post constantly. They're on it 24/7. I don't think but I personally suspect Red of being an AI because she never sleeps. Her blood type is 90% coffee, might be part of it. So, folks, anyway, that was anticlimactic, but I am going to do this, and people need to see that we can and should start speaking truth to power, even if it's the military. And please stop waiting for the military to save you. They can't save you. They're all over in Afghanistan or Syria or something. We need to bring our troop home. And also, while I'm here ranting about the military, pretty much everybody in the military hates their leadership. They've been abused, used, tortured. They get shot. They get very little help. Even if they got shot, or they broke a knee parachuting into some other invasion, the military does not take care of their people. You will find very few people in the military who are happy with their treatment. So if you love the troops, protect them the way they're supposed to protect us. We need to bring them home and let our alpha warriors protect us. Okay? Women, if you're wondering where all the alpha males are, they're in Syria right now, doing things they don't want to be doing. For 30 grand a month. Yeah, imagine that your job requires you to regularly get shot at and you're getting 30 grand a month. I have a plan to bring them home and get them paid by all the shitty rich people who spend 30 grand on a glass of wine. So, soldiers, thank you. It's not your fault. If you had to shoot somebody you didn't want to, that is not your fault, and you are not obligated to kill yourself out of guilt. Okay? You got brainwashed at boot camp. They rebooted your whole mind, turned you into a killer. and then forced you into a situation where you were in the wrong, and then you come home and you cycle and you grind on it, that is not your fault, my friend. So we can fix all of that. We will be fixing all of that. I will be bouncing back online today, tomorrow, whatever. I got some work to do. But folks, we got to start speaking truth to power. We got to rise up ourselves. Please go over to minds.com, mind.com. Look for Ryan Riff Parks, 1F and Riff. Do not freak out about Trump being a rhino. One of the things that's happening is that people are going cognitive dissonance because, well, if Trump and the military aren't going to save us, we're genuinely screwed. No, we the people can handle this. And every single human being turns out to be a demigod with 12 strands of superpowered DNA. Go over to Kung Flo and you will see proof of superpowers. Yours truly, firsthand. So, yeah, folks, don't stress about Trump being a rhino, but we have to pull the Band-Aid off of his con, and Kennedys are cons too. And by the way, folks, I'm cousins with Trump and the Kennedys. I know a lot about them and the dirt they've been through. So I'm going to go figure out another way. I may, if I can actually get a phone number in my phone to work, I'll jump back on and do this again. But basically, folks, we're about to have the most fun ever. Yep. If you like stories where the little guys rise up, band together, and take their power back and then live in a beautiful world, that's us. And it's starting this year. It is not a coincidence that this is the year of the dragon. We're coming in hot and it's ready to roar. So I love you more and more each day. Oh, by the way, folks, for those of you who had my back with that whole remark situation, thank you. He's an Air Force guy. Imagine that. Oh, he calls 3-letter agencies about me. Imagine that. And he completely, this was my best friend. Like, this was my best friend for the last 2 years. And I literally gave him close to $25,000. And he just stabbed me in the back. And then the other guy that I made friends with, whose name is also Mark, he just stabbed me in the back. This is what happens constantly. This is why everything takes so long, is because I build up with someone like Carrie Ann, and then she stabs me in the back. So this is why I live alone in the middle of nowhere and why we haven't had a camp out here in paradise. So I love you dearly, folks. I think I'm done bitching now. I think I'm done griping. I'm going to go play the drums. So if your ears start hurting, it's probably me. Elixir's not a big fan either. So friends, I love you dearly. Have a great day. You got to catch up on hydration. Also, folks, one of the big keys, the solar storms are invisible hot winds that wick moisture out of you and salt out of you. Salt. Remember when I talked about this needing electrolytes to power? Do you know what the best electrolyte is? Sea salt. Yeah, it's got 3 different kinds of magnesium and like 60 different nutrients that you need. So what you can do is don't do table salt. That's a garbage poison. Get good sea salt, not the pink stuff. That I don't even want to tell you. It might be giants. Just get good sea salt, put it on your tongue because that opens up the membranes and then you absorb more of the water. Okay, you really need the salt, you need the water, you need some fat. You can get it from animal fat. That's great for you. Your brain is mostly fat, but probably the best source of fat is coconut oil and avocados. So all you veggies, have at it, and veggies, I will catch up with you tomorrow after I turn up whatever I find. God, flail! Oh, God, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's like I don't even care it. I don't know why you people put up with me. All right, folks, I love you dearly. I will talk to you soon.